you hear my squeaky chair?
Everybody can hear now. Everybody can hear you talking about it too.
Can you hear it?
No.
Well, the midnight headlight find you on a rainy night, steep grade up ahead, slow me down, making no time. But I gotta keep rolling. Those are windshield wipers slapping out a tempo, keeping perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. But I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way.
Good morning, everybody. This is Morning Bull with me, Bonley Johnson, and
me.
I love you.
Just Jen.
Just Jen. Jen_X. What are you now? I thought it sounded like put that as a robot name for you or something.
Every night and every day.
When the robots started to come back, I promoted you. It came up with something different.
Yes, I love you for all the wrong reasons.
Are you still playing music?
You love me.
Probably. Yeah, there it goes. I didn't mean to be playing music.
You need me.
It was just Little Bellamy Brothers. For all the wrong reasons, was playing in the background. Yeah, sorry, Nips. The bots, Nips, the bots aren't fully functional yet. However, they will be.
Yes.
You don't even know our website?
I do, but my fingers got ahead of myself.
Jen, have you been out of the loop that long?
Out of the loop? What are you talking about?
You
I've been
built
here.
that fucking website, and you forgot the address. That's great. That's me stuff.
My fingers just got they just Well, I'm actually typing. I'm not on my phone. I'm on the laptop online and
Ah,
like typing. I just get ahead of myself.
it's not the same.
It's not. And I used to be a really good typist. And since the invention of phones and our small devices, I'm not anymore. I'm a pretty good thumb typist, but not on an actual
Well,
keyboard.
the keyboards are different now, especially on laptops. Like the old computer and typewriter keyboards were elevated, angled, and the keys were big. And when you put your fingers on the home keys, you knew where they were.
Yeah.
Now,
I know. Yeah, I know the keyboard on this laptop. It seems so small. I can't get. It doesn't. I
yeah,
don't know. I try to. I always overreach.
I do too.
I overreach
What kind of
my
laptop do you
letter.
have?
It's an HP.
Yeah, that stupid MacBook. It's useless. I mean, it does a nice job, but the keyboard is just freaking awful. I hate it. Hate it.
Hate it.
Did you have a
I
good
tell you
weekend?
what.
Go ahead.
Well,
Tell me what.
I did have a good weekend, but I'm having some technical difficulties right now.
What's the matter?
Well, I think I told you. I don't know if I told anybody else, but I ended up getting my mom's makeup vanity from her house over the weekend, and that made my weekend fantastic. Well, I decided I was going to start doing, the radio broadcast from this makeup vanity. Well, in the meantime, I've learned that my floors in my 1940s home are not exactly level.
No.
I'm
Are you rolling
I'm
away?
on. I'm rolling away.
We'll get you one of those retractable cords like they have on the trouble lights.
Pull myself back in.
Yeah, like the retractable dog leash. Tie it
Fuck
around your
you.
waist. Tie it to the vanity. There you go. Now you're safe.
I'm struggling to stay up on the mic. I'm telling you.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing other stuff, like trying not to play music in the background again.
If you see me all wiggling here, trying to just hold on for dear life so I don't roll to the other side of the room.
I didn't have the Zoom pulled up, so I wasn't watching you reel away. But I know that
You
feeling.
missed it.
I know that feeling. I don't remember why I know that feeling, but I do know that. It's when I'm playing guitar. Sometimes I'll sit in those rolly chairs, and I got the little mic thing in front of me and the little phone holder so I can read my chords and all that. And they move a lot, and that's a pain in the ass. And if you're trying to stay in mic distance, matters when you're singing live like that.
Right.
Matters when you're doing this too, but seems to be a little more matterful there. Yes, you can use that word. Any word I make up, feel free to use. Matterful.
Matterful. See, I'd already forgotten what you said.
You may be just a little bit too used to me. So what did you guys do over the weekend? You guys being you.
I really didn't. I didn't do a whole lot of anything, which was wonderful. But except, like I said, I did get the vanity and I did rearrange my bedroom and kind of get
like
things organized. And yeah, I was pretty pooped.
That sounds like a lot. Sounds like a busy weekend.
No.
Anytime
really.
I leave the house, it's a busy weekend.
Yeah, and I'm not big on leaving the house myself. I'm a homebody.
Yeah. Friday night.
What'd you do?
My kid showed up Friday night. We worked on the golf cart. That's why I missed part of Tisha's show. Actually, I ended up missing the whole thing by the time I got cleaned up and got the music on and all that. It was
you heard the last song.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was the important one, I know, but it was still missed the whole damn show. I hate missing her show because she's always at my show.
She is.
And I like her
phenomenal.
show.
I do too. Her and Patty Cakes they're something to behold.
Yeah, she just popped into chat. Hi, Tisha.
Good morning, Tisha.
They are something to behold. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I'm going for it anyway because that's what I do. Do you remember the cartoon dog and the cartoon coyote? It was Wile E. Coyote, but he had a different name in this one. It was Ralph and Sam. They clocked in, like, get ready for their job. One was protecting the sheep, and the other one was, trying to get the sheep. You don't remember that? Morning, Ralph.
That must have been
Sam.
before my time.
So they're all like, respectful of each other. They clock in. Hey, how you doing? But then they go do their jobs and they beat the shit out of each other the whole time. That's what those two remind me of. They just go at it. It's awesome. They're not fighting, and it's not mean to it. They're not mean to each other, but you can tell that they definitely live together.
Well, you know what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say that they remind you of Archie and Edith Bunker.
A little bit, except for Tisha's not a dingbat, though.
Do we know the same Tisha?
Edith was a dingbat. Yes, we know the same Tisha. She's not a dingbat.
Tisha. I love her.
I
love her to pieces. She's a dingbat hoe.
She's very forgiving, like Edith. So in that respect, you're right. Because no matter how shitty Archie was, she was always.
I have big love for Edith and Tisha.
I can kind of see it, I guess. But I always thought she was kind of a dingbat. She's more like the mother from Happy Days. I can't remember. Marianne.
Cunningham.
Cunningham, yes.
Mrs. C.
Mrs. C. Yeah, she's more like her. Or a little bit like the one from that 70s show.
Oh, yeah.
They're a little more like that. Because I don't see Pat as Archie, but he's got a little red in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they had a son together, he would put his foot in his son's ass. I just know he would. But since they're only raising Tisha's daughter, he has his own son. Separate, right? Tisha, am I right about that? I know he has a daughter too, right? One of each, maybe? Because didn't one of them just have a baby? That's who I'm asking. I'm just looking at you while I'm saying it. So, sorry.
Right, but Tisha also has a son as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But Pat, he was probably a little bit older, probably. Pat has 2 kids. His oldest is his son. Yeah, I thought he had one of each. So that you both have one of each. So you guys are like a mini Brady Bunch.
Are you expecting her to answer?
Yes, eventually. Once the delay. Pat raised Cody from age 7. Yeah. So yeah, I guess he that's definitely a raising age. He wasn't risen at that age. I forget how young he is. He looks like he's like going on 30. He's a very mature looking young man. Her son, have you ever seen him?
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he's only 19 or 20, whatever he is. I think he's only 19.
No, he does look older. I don't know if I'd say 30, but he does look older. He looks more mature.
Yeah. I think it's because he's so tall. How tall? Is he tall? Yeah, he's tall. How tall is he? He's like 6'3", I think.
I didn't realize he was tall. Yeah. He's very thin, but I didn't realize he was tall.
Tish.
Well, I don't know how tall Tisha is.
She's a dingbat midget now. We're going to paint this picture of her as like a troll.
I love you, T.
6'3", yeah, I was right. I thought he was pretty tall. Poor girl. We should have just had her on for a beat her up like this. We did have her on Friday if anyone tuned in for Friday's show.
I actually thought that's probably what you were doing because you were asking her questions, like expecting her to be here because she was here Friday.
Right. Yeah, I just try to engage with chat. She is chat. Nips might be listening too. He was trying to get that thing open. I don't know if he ever did or not. He's my
good morning, Aaron.
Nephew. Not in real life. He's just the one I like to take camping. You know, that's where they came. Yeah, you were there.
I was there.
You were there.
I was there. Yeah. I saw the debauchery.
If anybody asks you if marshmallows stick to your skin, say yes. Because if you say no, they're going to ask you to go camping.
They're going to. No. Do you like camping?
Huh? Do I like camping?
Yeah.
I did when I was a kid.
God, I just utterly despise camping.
Mm. When I was a kid, I liked it. Then I did it when I was an adult a little bit, but I don't go out of my way to do it. You know, I like the outdoors kind of stuff, but I don't go out of my way to do it. It's not comfortable.
It is not comfortable at all. There are bugs. And well, I remember the last time that we went family camping. Well,
Glamping.
it was my husband was mad. I don't remember why he was mad when we were packing up the truck to go.
Because he's married to you, but
fuck you.
That's
anyway.
Piss anybody.
He you don't know. He is quite lucky to be married to me. Just so you know.
We all agree.
I take care of shit. So anyway, so he was angry when he was packing up the truck. And for whatever reason, when we got to the campsite and we were just using a tent, we didn't have a camper or anything. So we pitched the tent, and you know how there's the top that goes on the tent. That the top is just mesh, and then there's an actual like tarp that goes over the top to keep the rain from coming in. No top. We had no top.
Uh-oh.
No, there wasn't, because he was mad when he was loading the truck. Now, there wasn't rain forecast or anything, so we thought we'd be okay. It's probably not going to rain. Dew. Of course, it didn't matter to him because he stayed up and fished all night. I woke up the next morning just covered in this icky, sticky,
you just thought it was because there was no top on your tent. It's really because you slept so well.
No,
so
it's not.
For all the men out there, Jen likes to camp. She's a sound sleeper.
It is horrible. It's horrible. And I actually think it was on one of my birthdays, I think, too. Yeah, because that's what I love to do on my birthday. It's go camping.
That's not a good birthday, I don't think. I mean, if that's your jam, yeah, I suppose. Nip said he has to shave his beard out to get the marshmallows out. But if that's your jam, then yeah, I guess it would be a good time. The last time I went camping as an adult, I was drinking, having fun, fishing all night. We never fucking slept. We drank from the time we got to the lake. It was me and my friends. It wasn't a family thing. We started, and we never stopped. We drank the entire weekend. Never went to bed. Got home like Sunday night and slept it off. Went to work next day.
Well, see, now that might be okay because it's not like really camping. You're just partying.
We had a fire and stuff.
Yeah, that's different. That's different than actually having to like sleep in the wilderness. That's bullshit. That's I'm not doing that ever again.
That's where I met this guy. His nickname was Summer.
What was his real name?
I don't remember. I was drunk from the time I got there. But I remember Summer because he had summer teeth. Summer over here, summer over there, somewhere there. Summer teeth. You never heard that?
That went right over my head.
So we call him Summer. Yeah.
So you nicknamed him that?
Of course.
So it wasn't like, hi, my name is.
I don't know what his real nickname is. It should have been Bigfoot because this dude had these feet. They had like size 14 shoes or something. And he took his shoes off. And we were hanging rope for some reason. I don't even remember what the hell we were doing. But he climbed this fucking tree and he did it like a monkey. He put his feet around it. And his hands around it, and he shimmied up the fucking tree, and there was no limbs. He made it all the way up this goddamn tree with his bare feet. I was impressed. I'm like, damn, Summer. Fucking them feet look like they belong. They should be hanging off the bottom of some kind of creature in the rainforest. Not on a human being. I think his toes were like 7 inches long. He just wrapped them around the fucking tree. It was crazy.
Talent. We all have talents.
Yeah. He was there with his one buddy. He was a cool old guy. I can't remember what his name was. Terrible with names anyway. But he ended up passing away shortly after that.
You should have nicknamed him.
I should have. And he did have a nickname, and it was a funny nickname, but I don't remember what it was. But he looked like Gabby Hayes. You know, the 49er. You ever see the mascot for the San Francisco 49ers? The guy with the bill flipped up like this on a cowboy hat and real long white beard. Skinny little prospector guy. Yeah.
I don't know if I've actually seen that. I mean, I've seen like the mascot, but not the mascot. Right. You know, not the actual person.
Well, there's always a cowboy version. Gabby Hayes played this guy. Yeah, you'd have to know it to know it. Otherwise, it really won't make any sense. But he looked just like that guy, and that's how that was. But yeah. So I'm obsessed with golf carts right now. You know that. And I sent you that picture. And I'm going to go get that thing later today. As soon as we're done with the show.
Are you really going to get it?
I talked to the guy. I was like, give me your best price. And I said, oh, you know. And then he did, and it was a good price. I was like, okay. I said, if everything works, I'll buy it. But I was flipping through the golf carts on Facebook Marketplace. Because I'm always looking for pieces and parts for the ones I have. And Barclay was like, well, anyhow, she always send her shit that jokingly I'm going to buy. Usually it's a old truck or beat up old car or something. She hates that shit. It's all crap. But I love junky old cars. I just do. They're they make me feel good. I don't know why. They just do. But so I was looking through the golf cart section.
Yeah.
For pieces and parts. And I came across this old maintenance cart, and I was like, oh, I remember those old Cushmans. So I just put in the word Cushman. Searched through that, and this fucking thing pops up. And it said, Cushman Vanster. I'm like, what? I have never heard of that. And exactly what's going on right now. I started fucking laughing and giggling. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm looking it over, and I just giggled the entire time. And then I sent it to her, and she was like, what the hell is that thing? It's a Cushman Vanster. I'm like, I didn't know this existed.
You need to share a pic of that in chat.
I should.
Let people get a view of that beaut.
Because she is. And he's got, it'll take me a minute.
Okay.
But he's got a couple different ads up for the same machine. Oh, dogs are barking. But that's similar to it. That's a nice one there, boy. It's got an ice cream freezer in the back of it. That is cool shit. These things they're hilarious, man. But anyhow, I gotta go to the other app to find it. But yeah, so I'm digging through there, and I find this thing, and I just knew. Like, I gotta have this.
It's great. And I don't know if folks in the chat remember that a while back, it's been months and months ago, I shared this dream that I had. And I actually had this dream that I was shopping. I was shopping at Lowe's. I can't remember if I was shopping there or if I worked there at the time. But anyway, I had this dream, and I was there, and I had to go to the lumber yard that was like somewhere off site. And they said, well, we'll have to get an employee to take you over there, blah, blah, blah. And the employee shows up, and it's actually Bonley Johnson in this little vehicle that looks exactly like this little vehicle that he is going to purchase today. It's like, I told him that I had the premonition. I saw this vehicle before it happened.
Which is, it should have been some kind of a nightmare.
How cute is that?
And it friggin' opens up in the back. And there's 2 bench seats in the back. Let's see if I can find that part. There's two bench seats in the back for people. I don't know. So when you guys get here this spring, we're gonna try. We're going out and about in that. We're gonna try and pile into this thing. See if I can get a picture of the back. Come on. Where is it? That's the other ad. I go back to Messenger.
It's just perfect.
Here it is. Yeah, there's two. Like I said, there's two different ads. There it is. There's a picture of the back. See if I get it. It's got a license plate. This thing's street legal, by the way. It shifts. It only goes. I'll delete his license plate just out of respect.
Little 3-speed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a 3-speed, and it goes like 35 miles an hour. But it's street legal. He's got a license plate on it. Look at the back of this thing.
Look how cute!
Oh God, this thing's ridiculous. I had to have it. I couldn't help it. I saw that stupid thing. It's got a little tiny motor in it. Golf cart wheels. It's got a single seat up front and then a little shifter down on the left-hand side. So I don't even know where Cushman's made. I have no idea.
Never heard of it.
Well, I have, only because of all the maintenance carts I've ever, the factories and stuff, when I worked in factories, every maintenance department had Cushman carts. Every one of them. I was trying to see where they're made at. Granger Industrial Supply, blah, blah. Cushman Vehicles.
That is a vehicle.
It is a vehicle. It's a vehicle-ish. Now they make golf cart looking cars. Trying to see where they're at.
I don't know exactly what you'd call that. If that's not golf cart looking.
Well, I mean, the modern ones don't look like that. That kind of looks like the old mail trucks from the 70s. Remember those? The little mail van Jeep thingies?
We still have those here.
Yeah. Yeah, but they were, I guess they really weren't that different back then, were they? Looks like it's made in the United States, but I'm not sure. Doesn't really say. Oh, yep. California legal notice right at the bottom of the website. So they're made in California.
That's kind of less fun.
A little bit. But that's all right. Nips is digging it. Well, Aaron, I'm here to tell you if we go camping.
Bullshit.
We're sleeping in the back. Yeah. Funny you should say that, Tisha. We're not going to go into that conversation, but it's already been discussed that it kind of looks like a clown car. We're not going to talk about it, but that conversation did come up.
It did.
Yeah. Just say that Jen thought she could see 37 people piling out.
57,
57.
actually.
Those seats look so small. Because Pat's a big guy too.
I look at those seats and I'm thinking, I don't know. Would they seat more than one person?
It looks like you might be able to get two on each one. I'm assuming they're about the size of a golf cart seat. You ever sit on the back of a golf cart that has a back seat?
No.
Yeah.
I have not.
They have little back seats.
But I've seen a golf cart that actually had a park bench.
Yeah.
That was
similar. Only real ones have padding. They're not all as cool as the park bench golf cart. But it is RIP now. That was the one condition that if I buy this, I have to get rid of that one. So I'm going to put it up for sale and sell it. I don't have room for all of them.
I'm sad about that.
Yeah, I don't have room for all of them, so that one's got to go. So I have a golf cart for sale.
Nips for the win. Nips for the win.
What we got here? Just saying, I'm going to put a stereo in it and put mariachi music on the little stereo. It's got an alternator in it and real headlights and stuff, so I should be able to put a sound system in it.
Real headlights? Like you don't have to strap flashlights to the
actual headlights. I don't have a picture of the front, but
I think the flashlights would be even cooler.
It's 100% street legal.
Just duct tape them fuckers.
Yes, we're going to try and pile into this thing and go for a ride up to Janaden Hut in downtown. Take a ride.
Sober even.
maybe. I'll be sober, but yeah, that'll be, Bailey won't go. I mean, Barkley won't go. There's no fucking way she would even attempt to attend anything with any of us. So there's only going to be 5 of us. So yeah, we're all going
to. Probably 4.
Luckily, well, who knows? Luckily for me, I weigh enough that we won't be popping wheelies. I'll be able to hold her down. Hopefully the engine's up front. I don't even know where the engine is on this thing.
You assume I'm going to let you drive.
That's true. So we got to have to go to the little convenience store downtown and buy ice cream. Because they have single dip ice cream there. Hand dip, whatever you want to call it.
I was going to say, what's a single shit?
Well, hand
You
dip.
don't go get ice
I'm just
cream
saying,
and get a single dip.
It's you can get a cone there. You don't have to get because it's a gas station. It's a marathon gas station. But it used to be a place called Goshen Dairy. It was a local dairy. I actually worked there when I was in high school, and they had the best ice cream, the best chip dip. Everything else was like, yeah, okay, but their chip dip was friggin' top notch. They bought it. They bought the French onion from somewhere in Erie, Pennsylvania.
France?
No, it was in Erie, Pennsylvania.
I mean, it can't be a French onion. It is not from France.
Maybe it was imported across Lake Erie. France is right on the other side of Lake Erie, so French Canada.
Yeah.
So maybe
It's
it came
still
from
not
there.
France. It maybe could be French, but that's not technically
Don't tell
France.
anybody from Quebec that. You'll have a fight on your hands. They take they take their French heritage very, very seriously.
But they may be French, but they're not from France.
I agree with you 100%. But they'll fight you. They are French. Oui.
But they're
They will
dupes
throw
up.
down. Let's get down to it. It's the best shot. On me.
I don't
Yeah,
know what you're saying.
they're almost as
Oui.
pretentious as real French people, but
Way.
one of those comedians, I can't remember who it was, did a walkabout in Quebec. And man, those people made themselves look pretty terrible. The way they were
I love
acting.
that you actually say Quebec instead of the rest of us, rednecks that say Quebec.
Well, that's how they say it. It's Quebec. They're from there, so I'm assuming
Quebec.
that's how you say it.
It's actually pronounced Quebec. Yes, but the rest of us,
I probably used to say
Americans,
Quebec too.
I say Quebec. I know it's wrong. Just like I still I know that saying Italian is also wrong.
Right.
I still say it.
Oh, I got into it. My first wife's sister. I got into a huge. She's like, we don't have an accent. We don't talk like hillbillies down in Ohio where we're at. I'm like, yes, we do. And she was like, prove it. I said, what's another name for a car? She goes, I don't know what you mean. What's the fancy name for your car? She says, vehicle. I said, there you go. She goes, what? I said, the rest of the world says vehicle. I said, you call it a vehicle.
Vehicle.
I said, that's right. Oh, just because I put the accent. I said, that's exactly what an accent is. You put the accent in the wrong place, then it makes it an accent. Her and I used to get in some really good debates. But
the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Exactly. We got into an argument about bats, too. This was back before the internet, you have to understand. And she believed that bats were blind. I'm like, no, they're not. Bats can see just fine. They just use echolocation. She's like, nah, they're blind. Why do you think the saying comes from blind as a bat? I'm like, they're not. I said, there may be a couple of them.
I thought
there's a couple blind people too, but people as a rule aren't blind, and neither are bats. I can't remember how we finally settled it. I think we went to the library and looked it up.
I thought bats were blind.
Yep. Nope. No blind bats.
Oh. I'm not going to argue it, but I did think that.
Moles are blind.
I mean,
they don't even have eyes. They get little pieces of skin. They have eyeballs, but there's skin growing over them. They don't have it. They don't eat. They're non-functional.
So if you had a mole and you sliced that skin, I wonder if they could see.
They have a ball under that piece of skin, but I don't know what it is. If it's just, It might be for something. You know what I mean? It might be for feeling their way. It might have a function, but it's not an eyeball. I think just shit her pants about slicing. She's like, no. Let's not do that.
I'm very curious. I think I'm going to have to get me a pet mole.
Yeah, and their wrists are backwards, too.
And a scalpel.
Their hands are like this, so they can dig. It is creepy. They're creepy like opossums. That's the other thing. Everyone says possum. Is it opossum or possum?
It's possum.
It's possum, right? Possum hollow?
Possum.
Yeah, I was talking. There was I don't know what you call it on Instagram. A reel, I guess. They call them reels, right?
Reels.
Yeah, that's right. Because
Instagram and Facebook are reels.
Because if I send you reels and you send me reels, we're in a relationship. But anyhow, there was one of this girl, she's talking about Appalachian words. And holler come up. And I'm like, yeah. If you don't know what a holler is, you're not from this area. Of course, anyone who's ever heard Coal Miner's Daughter has heard the word. But we call them hollers. Mm-hmm. That's what we call them.
Holler. Yeah. It's a holler.
Being the person that I am, I was always so confused when I was a kid. I would read books about, Sleepy Hollow and this and that. I'm like, how is that the same as holler? I just couldn't get my brain wrapped around it. Like, I knew they were the same word. I knew people used them the same way. We lived at the back of Mary's Holler. And I knew that it was supposed to be Mary's Hollow. But that's not how you said it. So when I read it and said it, I'm like, man, it was like tough for me to swallow all that. Yeah.
To swallow it?
To swallow it all.
Tough to swallow.
And, they would say things like, up again it. Set that shovel up again a barn. What?
Mm-hmm. My daddy said that.
Up again a barn.
Up again it.
These are Appalachian words, Appalachian sayings. Gotta go get some oil, change the oil in the car. Oil.
Well, now, I keep wanting to say where I'm from, but I'm not from there. But my husband is from there, and I lived there for many years. But it's Ole, not Earl.
Depends on where you're from. My grandma called it Earl.
Southeast Kentucky. Ole.
Earl.
Ole.
Yeah, and there were some it was O-L to some people, all. Get a quarter all. O-L. Earl.
How do you pronounce Ole?
O-L, I guess.
Or not pronounce it. I mean, how to spell it, not pronounce it. I just pronounced it.
Ole.
Ole.
Bunch of lazy, mush-mouth rednecks. That's what we are. Hillbillies.
Well, I know I was chatting with Rosanna yesterday. We were actually chatting in main chat, but
I saw there's a long string.
Yeah, I generally type the way that I speak. Like I don't add my G's on ing words, and
fucking
I say M. Like go get them. I don't say them. So anyway, there was something that I said to her yesterday that was kind of a long string of just like redneck Southern stuff. And I thought, someone who reads this, if they don't speak the way that I do, they're not going to know what in the hell I just said. So I had to actually type it out the correct way. Like, for those of you who don't speak Appalachian, it was a long string of things. Like instead of I said, I don't know I don't know.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I know what you're saying, because when I write music, I write songs with Sally Mancini, and she went to school to be a teacher. So everything with her is cut, dry, prim, proper. That's how she is. When she writes a song, there are like 6,000 fucking words. It's just long, structured. And when I write a song, I write it exactly like I speak. And it drives her fucking bananas when she tries to read it and it's all disorganized. And there's N and M, The words without G's. If that's how I'm saying it, that's how I'm singing it. That's how I'm writing it.
Right.
That's what I do. But when we
Oh, I
work
remember.
together on songs, it's kind of a nice mix.
I think it kind of became a thing with me because the first chapter book I read as a child was called Striped Ice Cream. I have it here somewhere. Anyway, it was called Striped Ice Cream, and it was written that way. It was written. Maya Angelou also wrote that way. She wrote the way people spoke, and it kind of started me. Why does everything have to be so perfect and so proper? Because that's not how we talk. I don't talk like that. I don't know how to. I don't know how to spell out. I don't know how.
I don't know how. So you have to, like, you're right. Some words you have to just put down their proper spelling. And when you sing it or speak it, you just speak it the way you speak it. I don't know how. But yeah.
That sounds weird from you. Because you don't say that. You don't say out.
I say some things. I don't know if I say that one.
You don't. Because it sounded really weird coming from you.
I don't know how. Yeah, I guess I don't.
I do.
I don't know how to say it because I don't know how to say it. Because I don't say it.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, there's a lot of those that I shirked as I was growing up because I was a little embarrassed by it. When I was reading books in school, not reading, but when other people would read books around me and I would listen, because that's how I absorbed almost every single thing I ever learned was from, that way, because I hate reading. Can't do it. But yeah, I was kind of like, oh God, man, my vocabulary is fucking awful.
Oh, mine is still terrible.
And it's, but I don't care anymore.
I know a lot of words. I just don't use them regularly.
Yeah. I try to expand my vocabulary every chance I get just because I want to learn more words. You never know when you're writing a song, man, because that's what I want to do with the rest of what little life I have left. That's what I want to do besides this radio stuff.
What about what little life you have left? You have no idea how long you're going to be here.
Right.
You might
Well, I can tell you at 55, I'm past half.
Maybe not.
Past. Oh, there you go. I don't fucking
Probably, but maybe not.
Listen, if I hit 100, and if I'm not in good shape, which I know I'm not going to be, I'll take myself out. I don't give a shit. I'm not living with my tongue out. Someone said that the other day, with my tongue out in the hallway at the nursing home. I'm not doing it. Pride may be a sin, but it's one of my regulars. That and ogling boots. That's my other sin. If there's a donk in the room, I'm looking at it. Can't help myself. I'm a boy. Unapologetic.
I'm not.
I hadn't noticed. Speaking of donks, Pat sent me a video of Tisha shaking her donk out on the dance floor the other night, Saturday night while they were out.
I'm a little upset.
You want it? I'll send it to you.
No, I got it, but
okay.
I thought I was special.
Nope, apparently he machine gunned that bitch everywhere. He's like, look at this, boys.
I thought I was special, damn it.
Look what my old lady's rocking. It's a proud hubby.
She looked good.
She did. Oh, my back. Yep. Shit, they were having fun. I wonder how you're feeling today. She said she was worried that today might not be that, she might not feel that good today. She said she was okay yesterday. She gets pretty sore sometimes. Her body revolts. So that's me asking you, Tish, how you feeling today? We have to wait 8 seconds for the response.
Yeah. So
Just to
and
get
then
it.
we're like, we're waiting for the response. We're watching chat and waiting for the response and forgetting to talk.
Exactly. That does happen. It does happen. So the Cushman is 2.5 hours away. And it's north, not
right.
south.
I remember. Yeah. I saw where it was.
Yeah.
When you sent it to me, I saw where it was.
Yeah, fucking things up there, man.
I was a little upset that it was north and not south.
Well, there's no, the hips are a little wonky. Stretch them out.
The hips don't lie.
The hips don't lie. They tell a story and it's all true. Yeah, there's no attractive lady DJs up near Sandusky, so it's going to be a boring trip. My kid's not going. It's just me by myself.
There might be. You just don't know them.
Well, if I don't know them, they don't exist. That's all I got to say about that.
You need to take your kid. That'd be fun.
He works from home, so he can't leave. He is a customer service representative for some company. So he stays there and answers phones and questions all day.
It's a good gig, though.
It's not a bad gig.
Good gig.
You know, you don't have to take his kids anywhere when they're home. They're at school now. The one, she's 5. I don't think she attends full time yet. But the other one does. But they probably get done before he does. I mean, I know they do. Kids don't go to school long enough. Now that I'm not in school anymore, I'm going to promote 12-hour work days for those little bastards.
You hush. Those are
I remember how fucking angry I was when the politicians back in the day were talking about doing 6 and 7 days. And then the other option was no summers. Have like a week off in summer. I was like, I'll riot. I was like 12 years old. I'll riot. I'll drive to Washington, D.C. on my fucking bike and whip your ass. Do that to me. But now, my, how the tables have turned.
I actually hated summers.
Yeah, I did not. I was a summer boy. Yeah. School was there to pass the time.
I got very bored in the summer.
Needed more structure.
But I didn't have siblings like you did.
Yeah. That's true. You were the older one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And and then all like when I was younger, we moved a lot when I was young, and then actually got into our forever home when I was in 7th grade. But when I was young, when summers counted, I was surrounded by boys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the entire neighborhood was nothing but boys. And let me tell you, the boys were not. They weren't gentle boys.
No boys are. Maybe now they are. They're soft now. I don't
know. They were not, and they, if I wanted to play with boys, I had to play like a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, at some point, I became more of a girl. More of I.
Quit writing your name in the snow and stuff like that.
That's a little harder for us. We run out of urine stream before we can get there. Plus, I have a very long name. 8 letters is hard to get through.
Yeah, I would just Jen's good.
Yeah, that's how it all started. Actually,
don't double the N. Now, as an adult, I'm kind of curious to see how that would work. We should have that. We should have the World Championship Women's Urine Snow Riding Championships.
That's why we generally write bigger, too.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, you girls have the hips, so you could go cursive.
I'm sitting here actually trying to do it.
In your head,
in my rolly chair.
Sending smoke signals. I'm like, well, you said your chair was all loosey goosey and you're flying backwards, so I wasn't sure what was going on. But yeah, I could see you wiggling back and forth. Tisha said she loved summer as a kid, could never get me out of the pool. We had a community pool where we hung out. I'm a mermaid. I believe that. I believe you were a pool kid.
We had a community pool too. Now, at the time, I didn't realize what this meant, but I hated going to the pool because I couldn't get in the pool because I would just consistently be drowned.
Why?
Dunked. Boys would just absolutely pummel me and just throw me underwater. It was terrible. Now I realize now as an adult that it's because that they were flirting. That was their flirt.
We have
let's kill her. But at the time I didn't understand that, and it was
we have simple ways.
Torture. It was torture.
That's funny though.
So I hated it.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty, right? You don't get to actually swim and have fun. But what do you do? I mean, swimming is something that kids do because they have all that excess fucking energy, and swimming will burn that shit up quick. I'm getting hungry just thinking about swimming. Swimming used to make me so fucking hungry. You know, you don't realize the biology behind all that when you're a kid, but yeah, man.
I remember our pool had the best concession stand.
I'm sure everybody thinks that, right?
Oh, it was the best. They had the absolute best root beer snow cones you ever put your lips to.
Never had one.
Pool's not
had
there.
Snow
Well,
cones,
the pool
but not
is
a root
there.
beer one.
It was.
We moved a lot. So there were several pools that we went to throughout my life, but never consistently. We never stayed anywhere long enough to be, part of that. Caldwell had a nice little community pool. They actually, one of the guys that I went to school with down there is the county commissioner now. And one of his projects was revamping the old community pool because nobody was using it. It was just sitting there empty. It was a terrible waste of space and terrible waste of fun. Kids don't, they're taking the initiative to bring kids out to play outside again. See how that goes. What they need to do is put a giant screen on the bottom of the pool, but they'll probably end up drowning a few people. So, way they get out there and play Tetris or something with their feet. I don't know. Whatever game kids are playing now.
I don't know. Actually, I think Tetris has made a comeback.
Yeah. Yeah. All of that stuff kind of comes and goes, right? That was one of my favorite games.
Hell if I know. I just know I've seen a couple of younger kids playing Tetris. I'm like, hey, I know how to play that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I saw
I don't know
one of the reels I flip through when I'm doing mindless stuff is a newer version of Tetris, but they kind of changed it a little bit.
They fucked it up, didn't they?
Yeah, they kind of fucked it up.
Yeah,
they're like letting elves do things that the elves shouldn't be doing. Stuff like that. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but instead of being linear, it's like squares were disappearing too. And I'm like,
They just disappear?
Well, yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, when the lines fall, when they disappear, when you make a line, it's not a straight line anymore. You can they were making other things disappear that shouldn't have been disappearing because they weren't complete straight lines. Like a square space.
Like if you, okay.
It was dumb. I'm like, that's not how that works. You got to get all the way across. If you don't get all the way across, it don't fucking disappear. That's the rule. Super duper simple.
Right. Otherwise, I mean, it would never reach the top and you'd never lose.
I think that's kind of what they were doing. They padded everything else.
That's right. Because no one's allowed to lose anymore.
Nope. Nobody might get their feelings hurt. They might have to start all over. God, fucking Mario Brothers. What a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare. You couldn't stop. You could pause. You could pause the game, get a piss, come back and keep going. But that was it. There was no saving your game for later.
No. It was back to level 1.
Yeah. Every time you got on that game, same thing with Pitfall and all the other games that, from those older generation games. I remember started at 1.
We got our Nintendo, and my My sister was maybe 6, 5 or 6. She was going to school. But mom decided she liked the Nintendo. And she got us up for school. This only happened on one occasion that I can remember, but she got us up for school and we got ready, and she didn't help us get ready that morning. I remember mom was glued to the Nintendo. And I had to get my sister ready for school and get her on the bus. And then I had to get on the bus and go to school myself. And we came home and mom was still sitting in the same spot, still wearing her robe.
Mm-hmm. What game was it?
She had the Mario Brothers.
Was it really?
Yeah. And she had sat there all day long. And she says, well, I see how you guys can spend all that time on this video game.
My mother-in-law was Dr. Mario, which was a rip-off of Tetris. Do you remember that?
No.
Dr. Mario was colored pills. They would drop these colored pills instead of shapes, and you had to line the colors up to make them disappear. Very similar. They stacked, and you could stack them. Yeah, but it was color-coded, yeah. She was addicted to that. She would sit there anytime the kids didn't have the Nintendo in her hands. She had it playing Dr. Mario, but that was a little bit later. I was an adult by then. Obviously, it was my mother-in-law, so. But the Nintendo was still around.
But
just not that popular.
It was just very, very out of character for my mom to do so.
Mm-hmm. Same for her. She wasn't a game player, but she liked that.
Mom was such a mom. She was very strictly, she was just such a mom. I never cleaned my room growing up or anything like that. Mom always did it.
That's how my mom was. She bitched a lot about it, but she always did it. When I got into adulthood, I had never done I'd done dishes at the restaurant for my job, but I'd never washed dishes at home. Never did my laundry. I had no idea how to take care of myself at all.
Well, neither did I.
So when I got divorced at 40,
I got married and had a kid and had no
awakening.
idea.
Rude awakening. Because my wife was the same way my mom was. She always did everything. She bitched about it, but she did it all. And it made me handicapped. So when I turned 40, got divorced, went out on my own, oh man. I know it all now.
I was 19 when I got my rude awakening, but
yeah. I never even paid a bill.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Had no clue. No idea. Had a baby. I had no idea what I was doing.
I had a lot of fun in my early 40s, though. I have to admit. It's a kind of a terrible time to start life over, but it's kind of fun, too, because you have an adult brain. Very adult brain at 40. You're fully developed. I mean, it takes a man a long time to fully develop, but you're fully developed by 40. What I didn't know was what I wanted out of life and what I wanted in a partner. I knew I wanted to be with somebody. I just didn't know who or what. So when I dated in my early 40s, it was, it was the horn of plenty. I didn't care what she looked like, who she was, or what her background was. I wanted to find out what life was like with everybody. So I did. I did as many different kinds of people as I could. And I had a good time.
That sounds scary.
It was kind of scary. And I learned very early on about it. The first girl I took out, when I told her I didn't want to see her anymore, because I told her, it's time for me to move on. I just assumed that everybody was in the same place I was, because I was a little thick-headed. And she called me 67 times in a half hour, crying, leaving voicemails. And I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Every person I dated after that, I told them, you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. I'm going to date you for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to move on. And I said, and if you're not okay with that, that's cool. Just, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I thought 2 weeks would be enough time that nobody would get any feelings. And I was wrong about that too. But it seemed safe, and it did work. It worked for a long time. And then when I met my second wife, I decided to, whatever. That was a huge mistake.
How many women did you meet that were okay with the 2 week thing?
A lot.
You're kidding me.
A lot. I think I could count on one hand how many people were like, yeah, no thanks.
Well, yeah. See, on that, I think that would be me now. I would be like, "Go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
buddy."
Yeah. Well,
I'm
good.
not. I'm not looking for that.
Absolutely.
Probably me back then, though. I probably would have accepted it,
The majority
but I would be thinking, "I'll change him."
and there was a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Well, I know that's what you told me, but and I'm like,
Right.
and there was your mistake because I was 100% serious. And the majority of them were from 29 to 33. And I found out that seems to be the divorce age for women. Women who get married really young, 18, 19,
Right.
it seemed like a lot of them, when they're getting ready to turn 30-ish, had a change of heart about their lives. So those women who were also, they were in the same boat I was at 40, were looking to experiment and expand. And, so the 2-week thing wasn't that scary to them. They're like, yeah, I don't want to marry you either. Let's have a little fun, see what life's about, and blah, blah, blah. And for the most part, it worked. I gained a lot of knowledge from that. I really did. And then I wasted it on my second wife. I ended up marrying the exact same woman I had married before.
We tend to do that. We follow patterns.
And when I left her, I was like, no more. I'm not doing that. I'll be alone.
You actually did. You
Yeah.
actually did learn your lesson.
I did.
Well, here I am staring at 50 and I still haven't learned my lesson.
It happens. But you don't have to do anything. There's no rules. There's no fucking guidebook. None of this shit works for everybody. You can try and follow the rules all you want. It doesn't work for everybody. Some people it works just fine for it. And they have a nice, normal, long, happy life. And they're married for their whole lives. And everything's great. And that's fine. I'm not shitting on them.
Well,
I'm a little jealous of them, actually. But
if ever I'm single again, I may try that 2-week thing. There'll
it's
be
just
a lot of happy
dipping
dudes.
your toes in the pool. And that was the main reason. I'm like, because if you don't want to get physical, I completely understand. We can still hang out and date, but I just want you to know in 2 weeks I'm leaving. I'm going to go on to somebody else. And they would be, most of them, it was in the high 90 percentile. We're like, okay, that's fine. Thank you for being honest.
I'm just flabbergasted.
I kind of was too. I expected little, if no response. And I can tell you right now, because before all that, when I got on and did my online profile, I had put, seeking long-term and blah, 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 and got almost no hits. Almost none.
Really?
When I put on there that my profile, I put that shit on my profile too. Dates for 2 weeks, I'm leaving. My business picked up. It picked up dramatically.
What the fuck?
It picked up dramatically.
Blows my mind.
I just
hoes, a bunch of hoes out here.
I mean, I think things were just starting to turn that corner at that time. So this was 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. I think things were just starting to turn that corner where women were, a lot more free to do that kind of stuff. Like it was way more socially acceptable to have the high body count thing, whatever they call it now, than it was then. Or when we were young.
Right.
But yeah,
Thank you.
It was an experience. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it the way I did it. And I hate to admit it, but some of what I did, I got from the Howard Stern show. There was this guy on there.
I wish radio could see my face right now.
There was this guy on there, and he was talking about his Plenty of Fish profile and how he changed it one day to like not give a fuck. And it picked up his business too. And it worked. 100% worked. But I was serious about not giving a fuck. I didn't want to be in a long-term relationship. When I put that on my profile initially, it was a lie. Because it's not what I wanted. And maybe that's what they picked up on.
Maybe that's where the difference was. That was like you can spot it a mile away.
Knows
this
that
guy.
Face. The face you're thinking. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's what it was. It was just, being honest. And that's, man, when my first marriage broke up, I felt like I died. Like that person that I was no longer existed. Like I had became somebody else. Like my personality had changed throughout that relationship. And it was a long relationship. It was 21 years. And at that age, that was more than half my life, my entire life.
Right.
So we had gotten in a rut. We were toxic with each other, and we both were not the same people anymore. It was fucking awful. It was awful. And when it all ended, I was still so heartbroken over the whole thing. It literally felt like I died. And like, took me about 3 months to quit bawling over the whole thing. And probably another month or so after that to get off my ass and like go out and start dating, having fun again. And it took a couple of years. I think I was single for about 3 years or so before I got into a serious relationship. I ended up marrying her, and that was dumb. She was the exact same person that my ex-wife was. And I think I found some comfort in that. And then about 6 months in, I was like, oh, son of a bitch. I did it again. Son of a bitch. And I started becoming that toxic person. She was already toxic. We were both toxic together. This time I was like, I'm not staying. This isn't me. I'm not happy. I don't want to act like this. I don't want to be like this. So I left. And that was it. I was like, duh. But the person I'm with now, I had already knew at that time. But I didn't. We were just friends, We talked. Right. She was super young. She's super young now, but she was super young when I met her.
Well, I started to say, and I opted not to, but you brought up that she was young. So I said, when you said you knew her, I'm like, yeah, well, she was 12. But
no, she was 21 when I met her. When she started working, she just got out of college. She was a full-time student, and she got out of college at 21 and came back to work at her family business. But yeah, we talked every day. Every day. We were fast friends. It was almost immediate. We have very similar personalities. And, she was dating, and I was dating because I got divorced very shortly after that. So we were friends for about 3 years before we started talking otherwise. And she was like, there's nobody here. There's nobody here at work that I want to date. And I'm like, you think your options are limited? You get to meet all men. I'm like, how many women do you know that work in the concrete industry? I said, I know of one. And I said, that's you. And that's literally how it started. But I think she had her eye on me for a while. Matter of fact, now I know she did. Because I was in a little bit different shape back then. The me, was a little sloppy. And I got old quick after I got sick. Because I wasn't sick yet. I hadn't gotten sick yet when I met her. So, I could... Her brother was out one day. We were pouring chargers, we call them. They're just those big wall blocks you put along the highway. Those big cubes of concrete. We call them charger blocks. But we were pouring those, and we were done. We were cleaning the truck out. And, those concrete trucks got those long chutes on the back of them that the concrete comes down. It's called a chute. And he was doing chin-ups on there. And he's like maybe 125 pounds. Still, he might be 140 now. He's been married a couple of years. So I'm like, what are you doing, man? So I grabbed this son of a bitch, and I started doing one-arm pull-ups on it. And here she was sneaking pictures of me doing this stuff. She was a perv.
You stud.
I was like, yeah. She told me that later. Like we'd already been dating a couple of years before she told me she had been sneaking pictures of me. I was like, that's fucked up, man. I'm like, I would be in jail if I was doing that shit. But yeah, girls can get away with stuff guys can't get away with.
Well, and so the guys go around and tell their buddies, hey, this chick at work was taking pictures of me.
You're the first person. Now I told everybody, but you're the first person I told. Sitting right here. I never told anybody that. Luckily for me, she doesn't listen. She would probably be in our driveway on our way downstairs right now. You son of a bitch.
You wait till I see her.
Oh, God, she would kill me. Especially if you said something to her in person. She would shrill up. Creepy bitch. those were the
I don't
days.
think that's a whole lot different than us, like us in our chats and things. I mean, there are pictures that I save.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's much different.
Well, I save them to use them against you later. There's a difference. I make those little things when the robots are working, the little pop-up things. I make those out. I make those pictures into whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I still have them. There's a WBAM folder on my phone. As soon as the robots are working, I'll make some more.
I'm trying to remember what embarrassing things
You don't really
sent.
have any. You have the older one that's got a lot of cleavage on it. That's really about the only quote unquote risque picture that you have.
Oh, it's because I don't like cleavage doesn't really exist on me. It's like
It did in that picture. I don't know, you must have fucking photoshopped it in.
oh, it's all smoke and mirrors. Let me tell you. No, you can. I mean, you can prop them girls up and push them, and you can.
I was standing on my head when I took this picture.
That's why there aren't any wrinkles either.
I took this picture on my motorcycle going 700 miles an hour. Look how tight my skin is. Look at my boobs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's all about angles.
Tish is right. Some of them are priceless, and they do remind you of that. And that's what pictures have always done, right? Remind you of that moment that you were in when that picture was taken.
Right.
And that's why I always hated posed pictures and always hated phony stuff. I'm just not.
And now that we have phones and not just
it's different,
film,
right? It's different.
Yep. Every picture is posed.
Every picture, every part of life is posed now. You can't go anywhere special without somebody wanting to fucking take a selfie of it. I'm like, I don't know. The world's just become too automatic.
I made you take a selfie with me.
Yes, you did. But that was a special moment. That was beyond a special moment. This is the first time we met face to face.
It was.
That's different.
It was.
That's different. Now, if every time we took a step, you're like, oh, no, let's take a picture of the cock man or get a picture over here by the park bench golf cart.
We should have gotten a selfie with Mr. Cock.
Diet cock. I don't know what that is, but it's probably what I have. It's a little light on calories. Sorry, ladies, to disappoint your fantasy. It's a diet cock. Although, hey, the way everybody diets anymore, maybe it'll make it sought after. I want the low calorie version. Probably not. Some things are just worth the calories, like ice cream. You just can't cut corners on ice cream. You can try with ice milk shit.
We are after 10 o'clock. You know
That's
that,
all right? We go till we're kind of done. We're getting there. I was going to call it in a little bit. I saw it. I looked up at 10:10.
I figured you'd be biting at the bit to go get your.
No, because I have to go to the bank and deal with some bullshit. I use their e-deposit, and it rejected one of my checks. So now I have to first I have to go find the son of a bitch because I filed him away already because it said it was accepted, and then 2 days later it said it was rejected. And I did two of them at the same time. I on the same table, same surface, same lightings. I don't know what their problem is. I don't know. Can't figure it out, but I have to go find it. I have to go deal with that first. But I have to go into the bank anyway to get money out because I don't carry that kind of cash on me. So you robbers out there, don't even bother. You just get bit by a dog and shot by a fat old man. Over about $40. Definitely ain't worth it. Right now, I think I don't even have that. I don't have a nickel on me. Fucking bowling alley drains me.
People don't carry cash anymore.
Not much. You're right. What do you rob people for then? Stuff, I guess. I'm not a robber, so I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you got 10 minutes with a credit card before they cancel it, I guess.
Yeah, but do you even have that long? Well, I guess if you stole their phone, and their computer and their credit card, you'd have about 10 or 15 minutes before it got canceled. But even then, the fraud protection on most cards, you don't have to pay for that shit anyway.
No, you don't have to pay for it, but still
Someone
takes a hit. Someone takes a hit.
Right.
I mean, they can, you can still go, if you have the card, you can go swipe it and get you a bag of Lay's and a cock,
Dot cock. But yeah, I guess there's some incentive for them to rob you still. I don't know. I'm like your dad. I carry my gun everywhere. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, Dad and his.
Yeah, I think you project a little bit of that.
No.
Yeah. If you didn't know him, you probably wouldn't bother you.
One of these days, you'll meet him and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He thinks that because he carries that gun on his hip, that he is indestructible, and that he'll walk into like a restaurant or a convenience store or whatever, and he will draw attention to it. He'll pull his jacket back or whatever. He will draw attention to it, like, yeah, I'm packing. And
I don't like people noticing I carry.
Well,
sometimes they do, and it's a little embarrassing. People get uncomfortable.
He draws.
I don't understand why people get uncomfortable. I'm like, if I was here to rob the place, you guys would already be aware.
I myself, I don't have a problem with guns. I was obviously raised with guns, and I've had guns in the house, and I don't have a problem with guns at all.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with the false security that they give. I have a problem.
How is it false security?
How is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, if someone comes at you from behind with a ball bat, that gun's not going to do you any good.
And not having it
wouldn't do you any good. But Dad thinks
it
will.
Not having it won't do you any good either. So if somebody comes from behind you with a baseball bat, it doesn't matter what you're carrying or not carrying.
Exactly. But Dad thinks that gun is going to protect him. He can do whatever he wants. And
it's a pretty good deterrent. If somebody sees that and they see another victim that doesn't have one, who are they going to go after? Well, unless they're intentionally targeting somebody, in which case you can't. If somebody decides they want you, they will get you. If they know Bonley Johnson lives here and I don't like that motherfucker and I'm going to get him, they're going to get me. With all my dogs and all my guns, it doesn't matter. When somebody is determined to get you, they will get you. All you can do is increase your odds of survival the best you can.
But you kind of proved my point. Mm-hmm. Is they're going to get you regardless of what you have.
But
Dad doesn't believe that.
Random attack,
Dad doesn't believe that.
The random attack is going to be almost nullified because thieves are like sharks. All right. They generally want to get the fastest, easiest meal they can get. If they see a big dog door on your house, a bunch of dog shit in your yard, a 6-foot fence, they're not going to fuck with that house because it's not an easy kill. There has to be something specific there they know about or want before they would go into that house.
And I'll agree with that.
So that's what a gun does. It just makes you less appealing as a target. I'm not an appealing target anyway.
Not indestructible.
No, nothing makes you indestructible. Nothing. Not a little thing in the world.
Tell that to the 80-year-old macho man.
Well, listen, whatever gets him through the day. Plus, he's 80 years old, right?
Yeah.
And we could learn a thing or two from people that make it that far because they made it that far. Not everybody gets to make it that far. That's above average, so. You are only projecting because you are too close to that forest.
Okay.
Just like the pictures on Facebook. It didn't bother me a bit. I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. But if it was my dad, I would have been fucking horrified.
I want to crawl under this desk right now.
I'm just saying. if I were in your position, I would have been absolutely fucking horrified. But from the rest of the world's point of view, it's cute and funny.
But that's not what he thinks it is. He doesn't think it's cute and funny.
No, I get it, but it's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? Whether you are looking at the trees of the forest or you are the forest and the trees within the forest, it matters. The view changes no matter from where you're at. So from the outside world, it was funny and cute. From Jen's world, it was like, kill me now.
I'm mortified. Just the very thought of it. I haven't looked at it in a while. But the very thought of it, I'm mortified.
Yeah. I thought it, for his age, the guy looks good, man.
He thinks he's stud daddy.
He kind of is.
Shut up.
He kind of is for his age. I mean,
he is not.
Yes, he is. You're just too close to the forest. I hope to be even a tenth of that attractive when I'm 80 years old. I'm hoping to even make it there. I don't think I will. People in my family don't live
You're
long.
seriously making me sick. You need to stop.
You need to quit picturing it. That's on you.
I can't help it. You keep talking about how attractive he is.
Yeah.
I am very proud of him. He takes care of himself, and he
does.
He does.
Obviously, he's made it this far, so he yeah, we should admire that. But I get where you're coming from. I get it.
He walks 6 miles a day. He goes to when he is in home. He's in Florida now, but when he's at home, he goes to the gym and he does some light lifting.
Silver Sneakers program.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, ask Patty Cake to tell you about it.
But no, he would never do that. That would be accepting that he's old.
Mm. But it gets you into all these different gyms for free.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That would be accepting that he's old,
mm-hmm.
and he thinks he's going to live forever.
Might be right. Technology's right around the corner. They think they're getting close where they can download your brain now. Could you imagine that horrifying? I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You're not touching my brain. Because 90% of my brain is me touching myself, so we're not doing it. I'm not going to expose all that to the world. No. Think about that. Everything you've ever fantasized about in your life all of a sudden becomes downloaded to a computer.
No.
Yep, pass.
Nope.
Pass. Let me die in peace. Leave me the fuck alone.
Those are my private thoughts.
If I get to pick and choose what part of my brains you can download, then maybe. But I would never trust anybody anyway.
Well, still yet. The things that I would, if I could pick and choose, I want to remember those things that I fantasized about.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm not saying...
I don't want to lose it.
I'm not saying you lose it. They would put it into they're thinking they can put it into an AI machine, and your personality would carry on after you're dead in a computer.
Right, I get that. But you said if you could pick and choose. And the things that you don't want to be seen are the things that you, like everything you fantasize about.
That'll die. That would die with you, and the rest of it that lived on would just be a generic shell of what you were.
I don't want that.
I wouldn't want any of it. I don't want to.
I want to remember.
I don't want to live forever.
Just let me go.
Die in peace. Hopefully, I die in my sleep, or at least when I'm,
That's what we all hope.
Maybe doing the deed wouldn't be bad. That'd be kind of horrifying for the other person. So, no, I don't want to die doing it. I don't want to do that.
Depends on who I'm doing it with.
I want to get revenge.
Because my options are so limitless here.
So you would literally be getting stabbed to death. Yeah, no.
I mean, that's what you could put in the obituary.
She was hacked to death with a meat cleaver. Do you imagine your poor children? You think you're horrified about your dad? Imagine them reading that. Oh my God, I heard your mother was murdered. She wasn't murdered. She died having sex. But the papers say, oh my God. Talk about living on in infamy. At least for about a year, I think you'd be famous. Just for having that obituary. Put it on my tombstone.
I bet my kids are mortified by me, aren't they?
Oh, I'm sure.
They are.
I'm sure. That's part of the game, right?
That just dawned on me. Like everything that Dad does, it bugs me. I do things that bug my kids.
That's part of the trade-off. If you have to raise those little bastards and fucking feed them and change their butts. I'm on the radio
talking about sex.
You have to do all that shit. You get to have some revenge. This is your revenge. Usually it's the grandkids. That's usually where you take your revenge at. You spoil the shit out of their kids and make them look like assholes to them.
Well, my daughter actually hates me right now.
Yeah.
She told me a couple nights ago that I have doomed her. I said, what do you mean? She said, because you said that I hope that you have a daughter that's just like you.
It's the curse. Well, I hate to tell you, Jen's daughter, but you asked for it.
You can say her name. She's Lexi.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Lex, you ask for it. When you're an asshole, when you're a teenager, you are building your own karma machine. You don't know it at the time. All that shit you give your parents, because I got it right back too. We all got to go through that. We did it, and we have it done to us. Karma. Tisha should know a little bit about karma. She's got a mini her too.
Yes, she does.
She even looks like
just
her.
like her.
Yes. She's just not turning into one of them boy machines. God damn.
That sounded.
I just. I don't know.
You need to stop.
I just can't even. Tisha, I'm so sorry. I don't feel for you at all. I mean, I don't envy you at all. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, raising daughters is tough.
I raised a boy. It was easy. I can't lie.
Oh, the boys
it was
are
easy.
I would have 10 boys to one girl.
Choke them out a couple times, pop them in the head here and there. They fucking respect you at the end of the day, and you're done as a parent. Girls, you can't do that.
Oh, the hell you can't.
Bullshit, man. Girls never forget. They're like fucking elephants, man. They don't ever fucking forget.
Lexi has been body slammed by me.
By you, not her dad.
Yes, more than once. I took her down. You are not talking to me like that.
I remember one time my son, he come downstairs. We had a living room in our basement at this time. It used to be a pool table and a kegerator and a dartboard. Cool shit. And then now, at this point, it was a living room as life progresses. And he come downstairs. He's fucking snot running out. I'm like, what's the matter? He said, Mom tried to kill me. So instantly, I start fucking laughing because I'm like, if you did something in my brain already instantly like that, if you did something to make your mom want to kill you, you came to the wrong place because you're about to get it twice. Yeah. So I'm like, I kept my composure. I'm like, what happened? She choked me. I'm fucking laughing. I'm like, what? She choked me. I mean, his mother is an asshole, but she was a good mom. Still a good mom. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So I grabbed him by the shoulder and upstairs we went. I said, what happened? Alex said, I'm laughing the whole time. I said, Alex said you choked him. She's like, he swung at me and then tried to run away, and I grabbed a hold of the back of his shirt and he choked himself. So I was like, that's it. I said, you can't swing at your mom. I said, pull your pants down. And he's like 10 years old, 11 years old. He's like, what? I'm like, pull your pants down. And I took my belt off. I'd never used my belt on him ever. I took my belt off. I'm like, pull him down. And I was being all forceful. And then he's like, he pulls his pants down. I said, the underwear too. So he pulls his underwear down. I'm like, now grab your ankles. And he did. And I just walked away. He was so fucking pissed. He hit the ground. I was like, there you go. I said, don't waste my time anymore. Come down. Tell me your mom choked you. Yeah. Yeah, he hadn't had a spanking in years at that point. So it was kind of fun for me. But that's how we're going to end the show now. On that note, I hope Alex listens to this. Hope he remembers that day. But anyhow, thank y'all for listening to Morning Bowl with me and Jen.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here this morning.
You know we love you.
He does. I kind of like you.
All right. I love you, Jen.
I love you too.
Peace and love, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday.
See ya, fuckers.